Morning, Sunday morning. Been out here playing. Just lit the stove just to get the dampness out of the garage. Yeah, the door's wide open. There's almost zero wind. Mavis is out here playing. She's a pretty good catch. So I'm working on these goofy things. Finally get rid of them. Warning, contents under pressure. Do not refill with any material. Do not store in damp areas. Do not puncture or incinerate cylinder. That's the only warning. It doesn't say that it's explosive. It doesn't say it's flammable. It doesn't say anything. It's just air rise. I do believe it is not helium, because these would have had stickers written all over them for explosive and flammable and everything, because helium is highly flammable. So I don't know what they use nowadays to make balloons go up in the air, and some of them came with these little goofy nozzles for filling the balloons. So if anybody wants one, I got 6 of them. 7. There's 4 there. So I'm cutting the nozzles off, and I'm cutting the tank open. Scrap yards will not take them if the tanks aren't cut open. So here's 2 that I did already. See, nozzle cut off. You can see daylight right through there. And then the tank open. Nice and clean in there. See? Clean, shiny. And I just pry it open. But there was never anything flammable in there, so it's not like they're going to go kaboom in their grinder, shred, or whatever. That's what they always worry about with these things. I generally cut them in half, because that's what the scrapyard I go to always wanted a V-cut with the valve out, but I generally cut them in half now so they can't do anything about it. But these guys, yeah, I got a used Sawzall blade. I showed you that in a video before. I'm using to cut it. So it's got lots of life left in it. And yeah, Mavis and I are outside playing. It's about, I don't know, 40 degrees maybe, 39 it was when we came out. So it's kind of an east wind, sort of, kind of, southeast. It's supposed to have rain, so in between the raindrops I'm busy doing this. I normally store them outside, but I don't want to, because then they fill with water and you get soaked in it. But anyways, that old girl's going. I brought wood in this morning too. So she's repiled. I had like 3 logs high down there left. Not bad for after a week of burning. That's a 4-foot wide rack. So would that be half a face cord in a week? When we lived on the farm, I would burn 2 face cord a month to heat that old farmhouse. I could never do that here, I don't think. 2 face cord. So if I could do that a month, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I know I'm getting off topic, but that's boring. It's just tanks. And they get cut, right, Mavis? They just get cut. Yeah, look at your toys are everywhere. There's a ball. Another ball way over there. That's when she gets bored or distracted. So I've been digging in the old wood. Yeah, my roof is kind of falling over, but everything's still dry in there. So I got 1, 2, 3, 6 face cord there. So that should be 3 months. So we're in December already. So December, January, February. Well, actually, don't count December now, because I already tackled that. So January, February, March, April. This is my oldest wood, but I've had to let it sit longer because it was hickory. You can see the different design of the wood back there compared to this. That was actually given to me because the guy couldn't sell it. He asked if I wanted it, so yeah. It's very heavy wood. It's burnable for in the fire pit, but I don't think it's even burnable yet this year. I've had it here for a couple years now. And this stuff is that linden or what do they call it? I was going to say dogwood, but that's not it. Every country terms it a little different, but here it's called linden. You can see the goofy, it looks like a handprint. That's just the way that wood is for some reason, but you can see she's splitting nicely, but I have to literally split it in half. It'll be good for next winter. I've never burned linden that I know of, so I'm not sure how long it has to dry. Ash, you can burn it as soon as you cut it. Willow, depending on the willow, if you get those tall skinny ones or fast growers, they're really not good for heat. They're good for campfires. But if you got a great big old girl sitting around your property that's like 8-9 foot diameter, yeah, that one's good firewood. You cut it, split it, and it'll be, because we burn that too. Or not willow, sorry, poplar. Willow's all right too. It's a light wood. Those are oak trees there, but when the limbs come off, and they're like, when a rotted limb falls off, they're like paper. Like I can hit them with the lawnmower and they just explode like poof, like sawdust. So you'd have to get one live, I'm thinking, for it to actually be any good wood. And I'm not a fan of cutting down live trees. I'll go after the dead ones. My favorite was elm. Dutch elm disease went through Canada there years ago and killed so many of them. That stuff is like burning rocks. It's that hard. Hard on the chainsaw blade too, but oh man, does it throw the heat. Anyways, I'm gonna cut this one open. I don't know, do you want to watch? Let me set up the tripod. Are you gonna stay there and sit for me? So we'll cut the valve off first. Sorry for being in the way. Yeah, it's slightly drizzling. It's kind of foggy out here. A little bit of everything, you know. So mind your ears if you got headphones on. There. Nice. Now we'll cut this guy. Maybe this no. Go get your ball. And the reason why I use a Sawzall on these, everybody should know that. Sawzall, I'm not going to say create no sparks, but they create less. Couple hits with the hammer. These are recyclable because they got that little tag on them. According to the tag here, see? According to the tag, you can put them in your blue box. But I want the money for the steel. I'm a cheap bastard, so. But if you put them in your blue box, I think you have to punch that little button out to show that they're empty. It's like a slug on a electrical socket, like the hydro panel or the little boxes you have in the wall for your plugs and switches. But anyways, you can see it says 100% recyclable. But I make sure that they don't complain. See, they're not going to explode that way. So, but anyways, that's how I do it. Yes, I read all the warning labels on them first. See, propane tanks are a little different. And that's why I use a Sawzall blade on them too. Less chance of a spark. And if I think I got a spark coming, I go slower. Then they don't spark at all. Grinders, man, that's all they do is spark. But the valve has to come off first. That one, I never did test to see if it had propane in. It got dropped off. It's got some weight to it. Okay, I have a tool that you can put on the tank if there's any gas in them. That's how they do it at the propane place. This is actually where I got it from. It's a propane relief valve or thingy dingy. It's just pressure in this one. Hear it? There's also a little valve on most of them on the side. You put a screwdriver in, undo it. Now when I'm taking this off, since it had pressure, I'll leave this on. That way it doesn't get a chance to rebuild the pressure. Because sometimes if you let them sit for a day and they get, let's say in the sunshine, they will build up pressure. In the winter time they lose pressure because of the cold. Propane's ice cold to begin with. And because, well, I experienced that on the farm. We use these guys to just for our water tank, to make hot water, a water heater. I use these. Winter time I could go through one of these a week. Summertime, one of these every 2 weeks. Hence, the heat would create better. Because you lose your pressure too fast. The tank was never empty. You just lost your pressure. That's why I say propane is not very good for anything except the barbecue. And on our water heater, every single year I had to take the burner out at least once every year and clean it because propane's that dirty as far as I'm concerned. So, of course, propane is just a byproduct. So anyways, on that note, I'm not doing him today because I don't have it set up. That's what that tool over there, that rack with the green thing, the tank lays on there. I can strap it down and get my tools out. That's what that's for, but I'm just showing you what this thing was. And that's all it is. It's just one of these things. I imagine you could probably, no, you probably couldn't. I was going to say one of the things off the barbecue, but they have a regulator in there and the regulator would close on you. This will not close because you can see right through it, see? This pushes that valve in for you so you can drain the tank. Yes, that's where it sits, right up on the window, so I know where it is. And then I'll drag it out and use it when I get after. But like I said, they all have propane in them yet, so I'm not going to do it. But this one I just picked up a little while ago. That swapper tank came with those guys, and it's 3/4 full of propane. So yeah, the East Indians had that Dally Wally party there a couple weeks back, and that's kind of who dropped these off. They asked if I would take them. I said $20, I'll take it, because that's worth $20 on its own. So, but that's what I'm doing today, just farting around. Bulk week starts tonight. The missus gets done work and we're going to be out there going at it. So anyways, don't be terrified. If you're sure you can't do it, don't touch them, you know. But like I said, it has nothing to do with anything flammable on there. They're just under pressure. I'm gonna check it out and see what they actually do. Transportation laws forbid if refilled. Penalty up to, ooh, damn, $500,000 and 5 years in prison. That's in the States. That's not here. It says helium tank, but there is no way that's helium, because helium's highly flammable. Have a nice day. Correct me if I'm wrong. The last time I seen about helium is that Hindenburg floaty balloon thingy. That's what kept it up in the air, and that thing went up and smoked quicker than, yeah. Last one done. 7 or 8 of them. That way you know I didn't blow up. 3, 6. Oh, there's 9 of them. 3, 6, 9. Yeah, okay. Well, there wasn't that many of those little tips. They might have just kept swapping them from tank to tank. 3, 6, 7 tips. So. Yeah. It didn't collapse this time, so I don't know what's going on with this thing. Yeah, we'll put it back here. It's an outdoor workbench. It's been replaced a few times by the looks of it, because that's not the real wood that's normally on them. And yeah, so and no, see, not slippery. So anyways, that's it. Anybody wants one of those goofy things, let me know.